All right, so welcome back to the channel. I guess I don't know if it's a channel anymore. Haven't made one of these in a while, various reasons for that, but yeah. So I'm outside, house sitting for a couple of weeks. Thought I would get some extra steps in, and just enjoy some vitamin D and E and some sun. Enjoy the grandeur of nature. Make a video. Don't know if I'm going to publish this. Anyway, just kind of wanted to give a couple updates. I'm going to kind of watch what I'm doing because, it's summer in Louisiana, so snakes and various other things that could possibly kill you. And let's see here. The main thing that I wanted to touch on today is a concept that's really been crucial to me, and I've kind of just got done with my 7th pop-up class, which feels pretty good. If you've taken the pop-up classes, then you know I really try to go all out in them. Try to incorporate as much stuff, and I try to be transparent and say, like, look, here's how I've used this stuff. Some of this stuff has literally saved my life. I don't hide it. Like, for years, after certain things happen that don't really need to be mentioned, I was broken, literally broke after, gave all my assets away to one person. Not only gave all my money away to somebody else, but borrowed money for them, then stayed behind to raise a child with no money, and completely broken, feeling like garbage because, well, they told you that you're garbage and unworthy and don't deserve love, and et cetera, et cetera. And so that was the issue that I struggled with for years. And so, like, whereas before, it was relatively easy for me to pretty much manifest anything that I wanted in this world. Man, what was that? There's something skimming across the water. I can't tell if it's wind or water or, wind or what. Anyway, we're out here on the water. And I kind of had to get to the bottom of that. And so that's kind of what a lot of the pop-up classes were about. Just within the past few years, think about it, I've retooled creative enhancement, updated my CAP classes, did 4 levels of theurgy and thaumaturgy. There's a stork, and 7 pop-up classes, about to be 8. Hopefully next month there'll be the 8th one. And it's just come down to, I had to figure out, okay, what do I actually know? Like, do I really know all this stuff that I think that I know? So Dr. Morris talks about someone who, a colleague of his and friend of his who, and teacher of his who had lost his wife and child in a car crash and had survivor's guilt and had a whole lot of stuff, going on inside. And so basically locked himself up in a barn with his scrolls and just focused on that. And so that was kind of my way back as well. It was, okay, I've got to just be a hermit and figure out, do I really know what I think I know? Here's what I know. Here's what I don't know. Here's what's working. Here's what's not working. How do I rectify all of this? And so that's what all of these classes have been about. They've been emotional touchstones. I thank everyone who's come along on the journey with me, who allows me to pass this stuff on and basically, sort of enables my madness to various levels. And So anyway, one of the main things has been getting in touch with your true nature, or my true nature. Let's just make it personal. And saying and realizing after I, told that I was absolute garbage and that I wasn't worth a damn and that everything else, that when you realize your true nature, then you realize, hey, I'm worth it, damn it. Like, I'm actually, there's some issues. We all have issues. And man, I've got crazy hair right now, but whatever. And I've got a cat at my feet. So, yes, you will get taken care of in a little while. But I've also got this beautiful view. I mean, you don't get much better than that. And so when you get to your true nature and you realize your true worth, and you're like, okay, you know what? I can love myself. Because there is love underneath all that. And you can just allow that love to permeate your being. And even be grateful that you have hair to be messy in the wind. And there is a level of gratitude for everything that you've experienced, even the bad stuff, because it taught you lessons. And so, kind of tying that in with some of the physical stuff, lately within the past just few months, well, it's kind of been the journey of a few years, but most of it's come about. Yeah, Nikki, you want a belly rub, don't you? And it's like, lost 80 pounds, gained a whole lot of muscle. And it's not for the old reasons, It's not because I could look at myself and go, you're not good enough. No, it was when I could look in the mirror and be like, damn, I love that mofo staring back at me, I want him to be happy and healthy. And that was when the muscle gains happened. The weight just poured off, like, so much so that people that haven't seen me in years are like, dang, you're too skinny. Well, yeah, I think I look good. And, it really crystallized the other day. I was doing a HIIT session, high intensity interval training, and it was on an exercise bike. And like I said, I'm house sitting, so they have the exercise bike here. I don't keep one at my place. Might get one of these days. But I was doing it, and it's basically like, you go 10 seconds as fast and as hard as you can, and you really, like, imagine that there's a bear behind you, and you really get out. And you do that about 40 times. And, you get worn out because, it's full blast. It sprints. And I was doing it, and I got to that edge. You hit that edge within HIIT, and you're like, part of you gives up, and part of you wants to keep going. And then, like, the further you go, the more that part that wants to give up, the louder that voice gets. And normally, like in the old days, what would cancel that would be like the drill sergeant in my head. That's like, you're not good enough, you maggot. Get down there and do it. But instead this time, instead of the drill sergeant, all of a sudden it was that loving voice that's like, I love you so much, I want to see you finish this. I love you so much that I want you to have that feeling of accomplishment, and that feeling, those wonderful, that runner's high, basically, that wonderful sense of chemical concoction that runs through you when all of this is over. And that got me through it and literally gave me my second win. And it came from literally just loving myself and realizing it. Because when you really love yourself, you realize that you don't need anything, you know? What I'm trying to get across is you don't need anyone else. You don't need a certain kind of body. You don't need such and such money in the bank. And when you let go of that and you just realize that you right now are inherently worthy and are a good person, you know, or a good being. We won't even say person, just your fundamental nature is a good being. And you don't have to add anything to it. You don't have to say, oh, I'm worthy because da-da-da, this, and that, which is false anyway. You're just inherently worthy and you can inherently love yourself. That's when everything that you want, when you basically give it up because you say, you know what, I don't need it anymore. Like, I'm good just the way that I am. That's when everything comes to you. And so if I can offer like one piece of advice with my messy hair, my beautiful messy hair, if I can offer one piece of advice, it's that. Just get to that state of your own true nature and realize that you're worthy, you're enough. You are worthy of love. You are worthy of the best things, just like Vadim Zeland says, you know, you realize that the world has saved the very best for you, you know. Then that's when the world opens up and it's like, okay, because you can't have or do or be anything that you aren't already in your very heart of hearts, basically. And when the heart and mind sync, that's when everything is possible. But you have to believe that you are worthy enough to have it. So work on that. I've tried to get that across in my classes. I've tried to teach people, you know, here are the methodologies and the techniques, but even beyond the techniques, here's the principles that you can use to, you know, get to that state. And once you get to that state, then everything opens up. And actually, this turned out a little bit better than I thought it would. I thought it was just going to be a complete ramble. But anybody that watches my videos or takes my classes know that that's inherent in my nature anyway. But I've got a cat that just will not stop. All right, so I'm going to take care of the cat. I hope you take care of yourself and know that you are loved, okay? So if no one else is out there reminding you that you're loved, and you don't really feel it, or if you crave that love because you don't feel inherently worthy inside, and so you have to have all these people that, you know, tell you how great you are or whatever, here's a genuine, unconditional I love you. Take that and run with it. Thank you very much.